Righto, welcome to all our ardent viewers. I'm Chris Similis, the General Manager of the Gippsland League, and on my left I have Keith Anderson, the roving reporter of the Warragul Druin Gazette. How are you, Keith?
I'm very well, Chris, apart from being very cold.
It is a bit cold today, isn't it? We're all rugged up because it is damn freezing out there. Okay, round 5 saw some good games. Your side, Druin, they put up a good battle against Leongatha over the hills there.
Yeah, it was not a bad game to watch actually. Conditions were great. Leongatha a bit down on strength, but yeah, they've kept in touch. A very important win for Leongatha. I thought the really significant game of the weekend was Maul's win at Matra.
Yes, that was...
And really, you know, Maul haven't put a foot wrong. They've got a bit of a hard test to come in the next few weeks, but so is Mapra, and it's pretty interesting. Mapra have got Terrelgan at Terrelgan this week, then they have Sile, and then they go to Wonthaggi in the next 3 rounds. So we'll find out a lot about Mapra over the next 3 weeks.
Certainly, and you know, just going quickly through there, Terrelgan proved too strong for Bairnsdale up at Bairnsdale. We won't say, Sale were on song, of course, against poor old Moe, and then Wonthaggi came out, which was, I think the size of the win was a bit of a shock for everyone because we didn't expect that much.
Well, I think both Terrelgan's win at Bairnsdale and Wonthaggi's win at Warragul, very, very convincing wins. As you know, and if you look at it from a league perspective and you like the competition to be pretty tight, a bit disappointed in both those efforts of Bairnsdale and Warragul, but I'm told Wonthaggi looked pretty good, and I think Terrelgan are just starting to slot into a bit of really good form.
And over at Leongatha, the weather was just superb, wasn't it? It was quite an interesting thing. They say things never change, but the president, Mel Mackey, over there, who was quiet and reserved, fairly well reserved last week. And Mel seems to be enjoying his role as head honcho over there, I think.
I think he enjoys the role. He certainly, and I was, did have a good chat with Mel early in the day. They're battling through some hard times, yes. And the injury list at the weekend or their outs at the weekend were quite substantial, apart from the, long term. They had 4 of their better midfielders out, and they've just got to keep in touch until they can get their side settled down, and don't count them out.
Okay, we'll go from, in round 6 we've got some interesting matchups. We'll start from the bottom here. Morwell are hosting Druin. Morwell, as you said, they've done everything right. Druin has won 1, I think, and, ran a couple of sides for a while. But it looks like a bit of a hard battle for Druin at Morwell, I would suggest.
Well, it will be, and I think there's probably 4 or 5 unavailable for Druin this week, be it by injury or that funny system that happens with Casey Scorpions and that VFL system. So, and it's very hard if Druin can't get their best side on the field to be competitive, and Morwell's going super, and I just expect them to win quite well. But Druin plays with a fair bit of spirit, and and there's some talent amongst the kids there too. Yeah,
no, there's some good kids there, and I think, by the end of the year, kids that have, racked up their first season and others that are, hitting the 50-game mark, it all bodes well for the future of the Druin Footy Club, which is most important. Okay, we have got a real blockbuster, Terrelgan hosting Mafra, which over the last few years they've been traditionally huge games.
Well, apart from over the years, it's a huge game for both clubs this week, and Terrelgan would love nothing better than get a 2-game jump on Mafra. Mafra, as I said earlier, they got a hard run the next 3 rounds, and we'll find out a lot about them. I think Terrelgan at home will win. Mafra, in the tall department, perhaps can expose the one question about Terrelgan, which is the rucks. But all reports I've got is that Traralgon is it's a side that moves the ball extremely quickly, and I just expect it to beat Mafra, Chris.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there. So we'll go to the next one. We better get onto the right one. Warrigal are hosting Leongatha, which, yeah, they've had some great tussles over the years. And,
Yep.
you know, I would expect Warrigal, I mean, we keep saying it every week, but I do expect Warrigal to actually perform quite okay, because I think they have, whilst they have a young team, I think they have got quite a reasonable team. And it's, of course, matches under the belt is important for them as well.
They do actually play for a trophy this weekend, and I forget the name of the trophy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Which
Maybe we should know that. We apologise.
I apologise for that because it recognises a person who's had a long association with both clubs. But Warrigal very disappointed with their effort last week. Leongatha probably will get some guys back who've been out, but not all of them. Yeah, it's a matter how Warrigal bounce back, and they need to bounce back to make a bit of a statement somewhere. They're too good a side, or they're potentially too good a side. If they can get that impetus and the momentum going, they can certainly cause a lot of trouble for sides that are ranked a bit higher. But they just got to produce, and you probably don't know from week to week. But very disappointed in the club last week. The club was very disappointed. Their supporters, their coach, their officials, and I think the players. And it's just a matter of, hey, if it's a hard contest, you got to be in that hard contest.
Okay, no worries. So we're suggesting
I'll go for Leongatha,
but
wouldn't be surprised if there's
Warrigal
an
got
upset.
up. Yeah, I'm probably about the same, which we don't agree very often. Okay, Wonthaggi are hosting Maui, which it's a trip for the Maui boys over the hills, and the Maui senior team's doing it very hard at the moment. But all we can do is hope that they go over there with plenty of enthusiasm, and because Wonthaggi is sort of coming along very nicely. They seem to be improving each week.
Yeah, they're probably the real smoky. They're now in the 5. They've had wins over a couple of really good sides, picking up the much travelled Adam Cook, who played against Warrigal. He'll be a real bonus for them. So they're looking in pretty good shape. They'll certainly beat Maui, and I think we'd all like to see Maui really step up a bit and be competitive. They've lost 4 out of 5 games by over 100 points. So, yeah, really like to see Maui lift a bit, but I don't think it's going to be this week.
Okay, yeah, no, well, let's hope, everything does point to a big win by Wonthaggi, but as I say, let's just hope that the Maui boys go over there and upset that a little bit. All right, we have the final one, which is a night game at Sale, hosting Bairnsdale, local derby match status. And Bairnsdale have been a bit disappointing the last 2 weeks, but one would suggest if they want to really be up in the mix, they've got to fly the colours this week.
They've got to fly the colours. I'm certainly not going to tip them to beat Sale, who, just running along nicely. The only thing that might bring Sale unstuck is it has a couple of times in the last couple of years a bit of overconfidence, but I expect Sale to win this game, and that starts to split open the competition a fair bit if results go as we're sort of predicting this weekend.
Well, Mitch Davis had a big one last week. They've named him best. He's kicked 10. Kane Fraser, McClay, Collins. It's all their normal players with a couple of young kids such as Brenton Rees performing. So they've been able to sneak in a couple of young kids and keep that production line, keep it rolling along. So Sale are looking very, very strong and good. But I would expect Bairnsdale to actually come out and try and do something this week because, as I say, they've had two reasonably poor games in what they would consider to be poor games, and I'm hoping that, you know, I'm still going for Sale, but I would suggest that Bairnsdale will give a good account of themselves.
Oh, it depends. Depends on the night. If the fog comes in, if the dew comes in, anything can happen there at Sale.
I'm not sure what the forecast is.
I'm not a great fan of night footy in Gippsland, Chris.
Oh, that's all right. As long as the people come to support it, that's what we're interested in. Okay, our netball correspondent will be back with us next week. So I suppose if we can just quickly say anything about this, and we can only go by the positions on the ladder here, but in netball we have Sale, of course, with Bairnsdale, and you would imagine again Sale will win that because there's a fair bit of difference on the ladder there, Keith. We then go to Wonthaggi Moe. Now Moe's been going a lot better in A grade. I'm looking at the footy here, sorry. Let's get to the netball, wherever it is. But Moe's actually caused a couple of upsets this year, and well, they're only one game apart, so Moe might actually win that one, I think, down at Wonthaggi in A grade. I know you've got a lot of enthusiasm.
You're the netball expert, Chris, here.
And then if we go on further to Warrigal hosting Leongatha, going by what I can see here. Yeah, I thought so, because one's at the bottom and one's up halfway up there. We then go to Rogue and Maffra. Now, one would think this should be all right. Yep, they're pretty even on the ladder, so that'll be a close one. So
Maffra will win that.
The Maffra will win the A grade. Okay, there you go.
We'll have a...
Fiona, Keith's just told you you're going to lose.
We'll have a slight wager on that.
All right. And then we go to Morwell hosting Druin, and gee, that one should be interesting because there's only a game between them as well.
Match of the round there. Actually, Druin got over the line against Leongatha last week, which was a pretty good win for Druin.
Right.
I think they added a bit of talent to the side. If that talent, extra talent, is in the side this week, they may get up again.
Okay, well, look, second playing third, so that's probably makes it match of the day. So, Druin to beat Morwell in the netball?
It depends on who's in the side.
All right, I'll go...
Pick a draw.
All right, we'll pick a draw. All right, well, that's it for us. We'll be back next week to preview the Interleague from probably Moe, I would suggest. Because the following week it's... Gippsland League hosting the Yarra Valley Mountain and Mountain District Football Netball League, so that's a big week coming up for Gippsland League football and netball. So from us now, see you later and see you in a week's time.